and it worked. They picked up 9 spots,
including the lead. That's Wallace out front on the left of your screen. Ward Skinner right with him, and look at the lead they've opened up.
They've opened up a good lead, and Ward Burton, we talked about a moment ago how well he was running. He has really dropped back now to about the 10th or 11th position. 11th now.
Ned, I was watching him. He got way up on the high side of the racetrack, and now everybody's freight training him, just going right on by.
Well, buddy, if you bang your foot and you get it so you can't really feel that throttle, what does that do for your feel of the race car?
Well, the throttle's just like the steering. You drive the car with the throttle, so if you can't feel it, it's one of the good sensors you have inside a race car to make it do what you want it to do.
He gets in line there just ahead of Terry Labonte, and that will move Burton back to 12th place.
Preacher, just tell me if I'm clear. Yes, sir.
For more on Ward Burton, Ken Squires.
Well, I'm amazed he's doing anything with his car. Remember, this is a fresh car. He crashed that car on Friday. They did not make the Friday session, final practice period. They were still working on it. They changed the motor. Then on Saturday, happy hour, they didn't get a chance to run. The only lap they turned was that qualifying lap that got him up into 9th position. And he is just doing an amazing job, and he is sore. He's walking with a very severe limp as he ambled out to that Caterpillar number 22 this morning.
Let's go back at the front. Rusty Wallace on the left, Mike Skinner, but have a look who's coming. Not only Bobby Labonte in that green 18, but here comes Earnhardt Jr. back to the front. He restarted 8th. He's up to 4th.
Right now, I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. may have the quickest car out there, but Bobby Labonte has a knack on these types of racetracks. He owns Atlanta. He might own Texas if he keeps running like he's running today.
Our Circuit City cam on board Bobby Labonte, looking back at Earnhardt Jr. Already in just 25 laps, 7 different leaders of this race. Labonte looking ahead at race leaders Rusty Wallace in the Ford and Mike Skinner's Chevrolet. For more on Labonte, here's Ralph.
Mike, I spoke to his crew chief, Jimmy Makar, this morning in the garage area about why he thinks Bobby Labonte is in a position now to really chase a championship. He says, I noticed Bobby noticing the little things more than ever before. He visualizes everything around him. He didn't used to do that before. The little mistakes would cost him a place or two here or there, which cost you big points in the chase for the Winston Cup. Not anymore. Bobby Labonte is a mature driver ready to claim his first titles.
Runner-up for the championship last year. And Ward Burton continues to backslide.
He'd gotten back on the low groove there and had run pretty good for a few laps, Mike, and then all of a sudden the car gets under him and he gets up in that second groove and lost a couple of more positions.
We're going to have a fight for the front as the front 4 are closing up together.
Boy, Bobby Labonte with Dale Earnhardt Jr. drafting along with him, he's running the leaders down very, very quickly. You're looking at Dale Earnhardt's car as they start down, Dale Earnhardt Jr. as they start down the back straightaway. These cars are absolutely flying around this racetrack.
Goodyear with a new tire here, and that means higher speeds, particularly corner speeds. Let's have a look with Joe Nemechek and our Fritos onboard telemetry at speed and RPM.
Well, you can see as he's in the turn, the RPMs gets down in the mid-70s, but now they go up. The speed goes up with the RPMs. Over 8,000 RPMs. A little bit of brake as he went into the turn just to get the car set. Then he starts picking up speed, and you see that speed now going up over 185, 188 miles an hour.
Ned, explain that. You don't so much use the brake to slow the car as you do to set the car in the corner.
Well, when you go in, you can almost run wide open around this racetrack. You do have to decelerate just a little bit, but it's better rather than just lifting all the way off the gas, just hit the brakes a little bit because it won't affect the setup of the race car. It won't dump weight as much going into the corner as it would if you let off the gas and then back on the gas again.
From our Lycos camera on board Johnny Benson as he passes number 12, Jeremy Mayfield. Mayfield now at 7th, and Johnny Benson has taken over 6th as he climbs the ladder. Bill Stevens has more.
Mike, Johnny Benson's on a tear. Remember, he started 26, has worked his way up to 6th, but his crew chief there, James Ince, Little bit concerned. The last pit stop, he doesn't think they got enough fuel into the car. He's hoping for another caution to even the playing field.
38 laps complete. First and only caution of the day so far. Back at lap 18 when Steve Park and Scott Pruitt got together in turn 4.
Yeah, they must have not got any fuel in it because they hadn't run that far when they had the first caution.
And not very much.
Rusty Wallace the leader at lap 39. It's Ford, Chevy, Pontiac. How's that for parity? Wallace, Skinner, and Labonte are the front three. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is fourth. And Matt Kenseth, fellow rookie, is fifth. Laps are complete in the DirecTV 500. Rusty Wallace's Ford continues to lead Mike Skinner's Chevy, Bobby Labonte's Pontiac, and the Chevy of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now there's your front four, and they have opened up quite a gap on fifth place Matt Kenseth. It's 3.2 seconds from Earnhardt Jr. back to the fifth place car.
Not anymore. Johnny Benson just got by him to take over that spot.
So move Benson up to fifth and displace Kenseth to sixth. There they are at the bottom of your screen. New paint job for Benson this week. As the leaders back to turn one. Rusty opening up a little bit of ground here. About half a second on Mike Skinner.
You know, talking about 50 victories, when I talked to Rusty Wallace about finally getting that 50th victory, he got, you know, his 49th last year, and he thought he'd get the 50th and it'd be over with. He said it was such a burden. Now he can go back to living again because it was one of his great goals in life to win 50 races. He said it was like somebody lifted a weight off of him.
And his goal now, 51.
Then 52.
Terry Labonte started this race from the pole and led it. He is now back at 10th place. Let's get an update from Dick Berggren.
We can really have a neat time down here listening to the drivers on the radios talking to their crews. And about 8 or 9 laps ago, Terry Labonte radioed to his and said, I really need more engine. He was complaining he just didn't have enough motor. That's when he was behind Mark Martin, the number 6. That very same lap, he closed about 3 car lengths on Martin at the end of the straightaway. You only do that one way, motor. Since then, he has gone by Mark Martin. He's closing in on the leaders. So he maybe doesn't have as much motor as he'd like, Mike, but he's got a good bit of it there under the hood.
Ned, did you ever meet a driver who had enough motor?
No, I don't think so. No.
I never have either.
No, everybody wants more power.
For 11th place, Mark Martin now has Steve Park right behind him. Most of Park's career spent in the open-wheel NASCAR Modifieds, where he finished second in the championship. Spent some time in Dale Earnhardt's Busch car. Almost won the Busch race here in '97. Was running up front. The lapped car took him out.
Mike, our leaders in just a moment or two are going to be in lap traffic, and I'll tell you that makes a lot of difference in race cars a lot of time. When you start running other cars down, it changes the aerodynamics of the car, and what's good working up to lap traffic don't work as well after you get up there.
Rusty Wallace is going to lap past Scott Pruitt. Pruitt will now be 3 laps down. He lost 2 in the pits as a result of his collision with Steve Park that brought out the race's only caution so far back at lap 18.
Darrell Waltrip could be the next driver to go a lap down. He's not quite in the picture there, but he's not too far ahead of Rusty. There he is on the left of the screen.
Running well over the race record set last year by about 10 miles an hour, but it's early yet. As Dick Berggren told us in the pre-race show, an average of 9 cars crash out of this race every one of the 3 years it's been held. So we have a ways to go. Remember Elliott Sadler, who got off in the mud outside the pit lane? There he is. He's picked up 20 spots from where he had to restart after spinning out there. Now runs in the 21st position. Sadler, Jarrett, Labonte.
Labonte making that outside pass, similar to what he made when he passed DJ for the lead a year ago in this race. Terry takes over 9th, DJ back to 10th.
You know, it's not often on CBS we see Dale Jarrett getting passed. Let's see. At Michigan last year, well, that was a snoozer. Jarrett kind of ran away from everybody. He won the Daytona 500 this year on CBS. And I will point out, Ned has the same shirt and tie on that when Dale won that race back in February. So